We take you now to the Warren County Municipal Courthouse in Warren, Ohio, where some routine court business quickly spirals out of control.
Kayla Raymond was recently charged with operating her vehicle without a license. Today, she's here for a bond hearing, but admits to the court she's high on drugs. Her bond's revoked and she's ordered to Trumbull County Jail. And that's when the trouble really starts. After the hearing, the bailiffs try to escort Kayla away, but she resists. And things quickly escalate. The 30-year-old puts up a fight. It appears Raymond might actually escape as she sends one of the officers to the floor. But he's quickly back up and the struggle continues. Despite the outrageous scene taking place, spectators notice the scuffle and either continue to go about their business or stand by and watch the scene play out. Keep in mind, Raymond was in court just on a no operator's license charge for not having her license on her while driving. As the officer tries to apply handcuffs, Raymond makes a desperate move. According to the police report, she bit both officers during the struggle. The incident continues before a third officer joins the scene and brings it to an end. Raymond is finally cuffed and carried out of the courthouse. Now Raymond's looking at additional charges of assault and resisting arrest.
Our next stop is inside the holding facility of the Chandler Municipal Court in Chandler, Arizona. Detention officers have come to remove 23-year-old Kevin Lyons to bring him before a judge. Lyons had been arrested in Chandler on a warrant for driving under the influence. It's also important to note that Lyons is handcuffed in the front. In court documents, he later claimed officers offered to remove the cuffs, but he refused, stating he kept them on for a reason. When the male officer tries to nudge him along, he chooses not to cooperate. The two officers try to subdue Lyons, but he refuses to let up. Lyons loses a boot, but continues fighting and kicking. And he lands a shot that knocks the female officer back. And now, if you watch closely, this is where the handcuffs and Lyons' reason for keeping them on come into play. If you look at that again, you can see Lyons manages to slip his cuffs around the male officer's neck, putting him in a potentially deadly stranglehold. It's been over 20 seconds and time is running out. But the officer continues to fight. Eventually, he manages to slip out of Lyons' grip and turn the tables. While escaping from Lyons' chokehold, the male officer suffered a cut to his face and on the back of his ear. A third officer enters to assist, and they begin the very careful process of repositioning Lyons' cuffs behind his back.
Because here's what's going to happen next. Okay. Tell me. You're going to go to the hospital if you resist any, okay?
I know. I already know.
Okay.
I've done it before. You know, Mama, you see my record?
No, I haven't.
Well, I hope you don't see it.
Court documents show Lyons was previously convicted of assaulting officers. So this time, they make absolutely sure they've secured the cuffs behind his back.
They're double. They are. We're good.
All right.
Lyons may be contained, but that doesn't mean he's going to go quietly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's freaking as That's what it is.
Lyons is led back to his cell, where he continues to mouth off at the male officer.
Okay.
That's messed up. I didn't do
It's who you want to grab me? I'll and start needing me recording. Yeah, the camera thing on cash in.
Lyons is booked into Maricopa County Jail and now faces 2 additional aggravated assault charges against a correction officer.
We go to Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're inside the Hamilton County Courthouse, and that's Donald Trivett. He just entered the building, but he has no court business to attend to. So why is he there? He wants access to an office so he can take a shower. When told he doesn't have an office there, Trivett doesn't take the news well. Three deputies try to restrain Trivett, who sends one of them to the floor. Finally, he's taken down, and deputies appear to have things under control. But look closely. You can see Trivett reaching for the deputy's holster. If he grabs the gun, this scuffle could turn deadly. But there, a quick-thinking bailiff releases the magazine from the weapon. Even against 3 men, Trivett continues to fight. By now, a dozen officers have arrived on the scene. As a precaution to prevent officers from being bitten, a hood is placed over Trivett's head, and he's taken away in handcuffs. Trivett's charged with aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and resisting arrest. No officers were seriously injured during the incident.
We asked you to meet us halfway. You didn't do it the day you were found guilty. You didn't do it a week later. And you haven't done it since the time you've been incarcerated in the Mansfield County Jail.
This is Mike Skidmore, a retired corrections officer of 30 years. He's being sentenced in court today because of an incident that happened at another Ohio courthouse a year prior to this, when Skidmore attended a county commissioners meeting to air a grievance about how the building's security displays their IDs. He brought a camera with him to film the proceedings. Skidmore believes the county commissioners meeting he's attending here is open to the public.
All right, kids, who's leading the way? All right.
But it soon becomes apparent that is not the case.
I'd like to stick with the original agenda, which is our public meeting, and postpone your executive session for another time.
No.
The executive session was added, I believe it was last Thursday.
I'd like to file a complaint against your secretarial staff for lying to us or is purposefully trying to block us and frustrate our efforts to talk to our elected officials.
Skidmore's upset because the agenda's been changed to an executive session and members of the public can't be in attendance.
As I said, sir, you are welcome to come in after this executive session is over. We are not trying to block you from this meeting. We are going to go ahead with our executive session.
Why does the security staff in this county building, not the courthouse security, refuse to identify themselves?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
They turn their badges around backwards like she does.
When you ask them who they are,
You're welcome to see it. I can't stop it.
thank you. I'm welcome to see it. Good. I'd like to. It does not, and that is not accurate either.
Excuse me? That's inappropriate.
That is inappropriate.
Yeah, I think so.
You just put your hands on one of our staff members. That's inappropriate.
Your staff members put hands on the public, and that is inappropriate.
I
Let's
don't know what
address
you're talking about.
your staff. You pay them.
Security's been called to the room.
They do. That security does not have an ID. I don't know who they are.
And ends up having security called on him.
No, I do know who they are. They're...
I don't.
That sound you just heard was a gun being discharged.
What the hell you doing, man? Ow, you bit me! Call Call 911. I'm being attacked. Being attacked? I'm being attacked.
You got enough? You had enough? Stop. Stop what you're doing. This is ridiculous, man. Somebody call 911. What are you doing?
What are you doing? You're killing me.
Killing you? You started hitting me, dude. You know what you just did? You just bit me, felonious assault. You understand that? Get out of here. Get up.
Fortunately, no one was hit by the bullet. The former U.S. Marine not going quietly.
You bang baby right here. Animal. You spent your life in jail now.
Skidmore's arrested on felonious assault charges. He's later found guilty of inducing panic, obstructing official business, and 2 misdemeanor counts of assault, remaining defiant through it all.
I have reviewed the conduct that you exhibited from the moment that you were given an opportunity to not be incarcerated. You have not met me halfway.
The judge sentences him to 16 months in prison.